never look over Sziky. He's just been the strongest Zerg, in my opinion, in the foreign scene, you know, for quite some time now. It's really, you know, you think True Touch, you think Eon Zerg, but, you know, Sziky's really been the one with the performances as of late. So it's really, you know, exciting to see him already make it so far. You know, it's such an exciting matchup to hit Bonyth in quarterfinals. This could be, you know, a scary match for either player here. I'm really excited to get this one kicked off. So actually, map number 1 will be match point between these two in this best of 5 2-player map. You know, we saw ZVP already earlier on it today when we saw DeWalt go up against Koget, and when Koget got Zerg, you know, it was kind of a difficult map to defend both your natural and that gas third. So I wonder if a player like Sziky would feel more comfortable just opting to take the mineral only instead. Is kind of one thing I'm looking for here. But, you know, Bonyth also plays hyper aggressive. When he is just a, you know, PvZ god. His Corsair control is honestly just on another level. Like, he's one of the few to really utilize 2-gate main and, you know, things like Reavers earlier on in the matchup and make it work and make it look like that's the way it should honestly be. So really hyped to get a chance to cast Bonyth's games here once again. And we see our map pool here between these two. Match point going to be game number 1 here. And it looks like we are ready to go, folks. So let's get into it. It's going to be Sziky going up against Bonyth, game number 1 on match point. And spawning, bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is StarCast Bonyth. And spawning top right as the blue Zerg, also sporting that StarCast, it is Sziky. So nothing out of the ordinary here. Looks like just a standard pylon for Big Bonyth at the natural. Likely going to be a gate opener. We all know how much he loves his gate openers, and honestly just his zealot control early in general. Sziky, I was going to guess would go overpool on a 2-player map, but it looks like he might be trying to get away with something like a hatchery first here. Bonyth going to have that early scout, going to be able to block the natural and probably get some harass done. Looks like, yes, this is a reaction pool at 11 supply out of Sziky, recognizing, hey, Bonyth sent a probe to my base. All right, there's definitely no way I'm getting a hatchery down at my natural, so let's go ahead and get that pool down. I always think it's a good call. So now we have a drone versus probe fight here. Ooh, good connect for both. I don't know who wins this. It looks like Bonyth looking confident, so I believe it. Second drone coming in, though. And this has been very well controlled by both players. The weak drone will produce the hatchery at the natural, and third drone looks to continue fighting this probe in order to take a third base. So just good control and awareness out of both players here. Oh, it's a Forge. Forge Nexus out of Bonyth. I like it. I like it given what he's seen. He's forced the early pool. You know, he is definitely not going to take any damage from a delayed pool with a cannon. So he can feel pretty confident about that. And he's still trying to scout this third base here. StarCast Sziky bringing his drone back. Normally I would have thought he wanted to hide it, but he's trying to stay all over this probe, it looks like. Third hatchery should be going down here in a second, and yeah, I think he's going to take the mineral only. I actually think it's pretty wise, especially because I don't think he knew if this was gate first or not. Maybe he could have got away with taking it bottom right if it wasn't gate first. So I don't know. But either way, Gaspy in mind here in the main for Sziky. Wonder if he'll go for lair first out of this, or if this could just be a early Hydroden style. And lair. Okay. So this will be a lair opener out of Sziky. I like it. Anytime you're able to just freely get that early Spire, Protoss has to be concerned about so many things. You know, Scourge to prevent Corsair scouting or just pick off Corsairs and shuttles altogether early. And then obviously there's always the threat of Muta. And Muta, you know, if you are a Protoss and you end up skipping that Sair tech, it is the quickest way to die at the high levels. You know, 5 Muta and 4 Scourge running in, clearing your mineral line and picking off your Corsairs. It's very, very difficult to deal with for Protoss. Probe still being chased around here. Overlord will scout the first Zealot move out from Bonyth. So he obviously can go either to the natural or the third at this point. That'll probably prompt some more Zerglings to be made here from Sziky. So just trying to keep that drone count under control is Bonyth with this faint pressure. And actually he's even going to pull the Zealot back. I like this. Good play. It doesn't risk anything, and it forced Lings to be produced out of Sziky. So Spire down, but looks like Stargate in the main here for Bonyth as well. That Forge is spinning, so +1 on the way. Ling speed out for Sziky here. He wants to take no chances. Does not want to lose any of his drones to any type of Zealot move out. I think this is a solid call. Drone production starting to get you know, bigger and bigger here for Sziky. 4th hatchery underway. And with that, he's likely just going to be spamming drones at the moment. There is no pressure here out of Bonyth. It's one of those rare games. Looks like, honestly, Bonyth just content with getting this first Corsair here early. Looks like Zealot legs on the way. The core is spinning, so that's going to be a 1-1 timing here coming out of Bonyth, which is pretty popular, I'd say, at the moment. Fifth hatchery here for Sziky. No Hydroden yet, no gas at the natural, and no Evo chamber, but they're likely going to go down now. There we go, Hydroden. Ooh, even an early creep colony. Looks like Sziky really showing some respect here to Bonyth. That is quite an early creep colony. Overlord going to go down at the third. So nice pickup here from Bonyth. It's a little bit of a supply block here for Sziky. Bonyth at 60 supply to the 38 of Sziky. Once Sziky gets unsupply blocked here, he should be good for maybe a little bit more of a drone production, you know, for the main and the third or something like that. But other than that, he's pretty much topped off on his drones. He's going to start mixing in towards this Hydra production here. Now, as we said before, the one issue with this is Zerg eventually is going to need a 4th. And the difference between holding that mineral only to bottom right is very, very difficult at times for Zerg. So that's going to be the next kind of hurdle that Sziky's going to need to go through. Lings scout the Zealot timing just right on time here. Looks like he's going to feint a counter. Maybe this is just a delay. Either way, I like this. Did get those Zealots to move back just slightly. Scourge out on the map. The Lings did scout the Corsairs. Ooh, this is very close. But it looks like Bonyth should be able to get away. Either way, just keeping the Corsairs back is really, really good for Zerg. Sziky has very good positioning on his Sunkens and Hydralisks, so it's going to be a little risky for Bonyth to move in here, but it looks like he's waiting for the second round of reinforcements. Corsairs are coming back, so Bonyth might be hitting this timing here in a second. And here we go. Zealots moving into the third. Ooh, Lings coming into flank. All of the Scourge end up getting evaporated here. And Hydralisk going to need to be rallied from the natural here in order to handle this. Ooh, big Overlord kills for Bonyth. And actually, he's going to get on top of the Evo Chamber. Ooh, okay, that was very, very scary there. If that Evo Chamber went down and he ended up preventing +1 from Sziky, from then on, the rest of the game, it would be very difficult for Sziky to take any type of fights in the center. So good save. Zealot's going to swing around from Bonyth, try to get some damage done at the natural. Looks like they will catch a Hydralisk, so nice pickup so far from Bonyth. Corsairs getting on top of these Overlords. Once again, there's just not the Hydra count he needs to be able to focus both. And another massive supply block here for Sziky. Bonyth just starting to run away with it a little bit. Robo facility at the natural, additional gateways being added simultaneously. Core is spinning, so that's probably Dragoon range, I'd guess, at this point. Another Overlord going down in the main. I mean, his Corsairs are just always in the perfect spot. It's really frustrating to deal with this if you're Zerg. Good scouting, sees the group of Hydralisks at the natural. He's going in to scout the third. Ooh, almost a good pickup there from Sziky. Now with this DT bottom right, he knows there's just been no base down here. So Bonyth can feel pretty comfortable just stacking these Templar and building additional Zealots at this point. So doesn't have to be worried about Muta because he still has that flock of Corsairs moving around with +1. And yeah, it looks like Bonyth is going to be taking his mineral only now. And there's just nothing it looks like Sziky can do about it. Ooh, good control. Still keeps the Corsairs alive. And this drone, Overlord, Hydra combo going to be moving bottom right. Oh, shoot. Good control from Sziky. I thought he was just going to walk out and swipe this. But actually, the Overlord going down, and that'll once again end up delaying this fourth base here. Looks like there's a small group of Zealots at 12 o'clock, maybe just trying to prevent base from going down there. Lurker tech completed here for Sziky. So this Zealot timing should do nothing. Looks like at the bottom right, Sziky finally able to secure his fourth. It's not the worst timing, you know. Bonyth still doesn't have the mineral only up, so if he's able to hang on to this high ground here somehow, maybe he can kind of play back from it. Ooh, forward group of Hydras moving out. They do scout the incoming force here from Bonyth. Reinforcements being rallied in here. There is a lurker on this high ground. Could be difficult for Bonyth to break through. But, ooh, that is 5 Templar. Flanking Hydras coming in here. Very good storms, though, from Bonyth. And more Hydras trying to join the fray from the 6-hatch Hydra of Sziky. But, unfortunately, they do fall. That Evo chamber is definitely exposed now to this many Hydralisks. I'm a little concerned about that here. Rallied lurkers coming in from this low ground, but remember, this is just low ground to high ground fight versus Dragoons. This is not going to get better here for Sziky. The last remaining Hydras trying to come in here, focus firing some Dragoons, but the miss chance is just too great, it seems. One lurker falls. Creep colony will go down, but the supply advantage just continues to grow here for Bonyth. Bonyth being very good about keeping that observer defended and back. Final remaining Corsair does go down, but this exposed Evo chamber will fall, and so will this sunken colony. Sziky is essentially mining on 2 bases at this point. And Hydras did a pretty decent job doing a little bit of focus fire, but the storm was really good there from Bonyth, clearing that group of Lings. And Bonyth feeling comfortable enough to take a 4th. Oh, very nice. Didn't even realize. Good lurker placement there from Sziky. And yeah, it looks like more and more damage just being dealt to this 3rd base. There are some Sunkens being rallied in here, but he just is kind of getting overwhelmed at this point. The production for Bonyth is just too high. And he's constantly trading with this high ground advantage on the Dragoons, so it makes it very, very difficult for Zerg. And good Storm there from Bonyth. Does clear a couple more Hydras and a Larva. And GG is called there from Sziky. Game number 1 going to Bonyth in very strong fashion. It was pretty close, you know, obviously early on. I thought there were a few times where Sziky had great trades with those Hydras against the initial Zealots, but man, the Bonyth Corsairs just continued to supply block. He did a great job with the scouting DT, preventing the 4th for such a long time. And, you know, even though Sziky was essentially controlling everything pretty well, just little units here and there were getting caught out of position. It was enough for Bonyth to gain some type of a lead. So very well done there from Bonyth, as expected on match point. And with that, yeah, Sziky's gonna need to, you know, rally. It's gonna need to change something up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you do against Bonyth. Yeah, he's just such a phenomenal player. But either way, I know Sziky knows what he's doing, and he's game for it, man. So it's going to be exciting. Do we know what map number 2 is? Oh, Eclipse. Okay. We think the map is going to be Eclipse. It's going to be a good one. I think Eclipse is a good map for Zerg that plays towards like that 9-7-3 play. Like I always enjoy going for the big massive lurker contains off just mid-game tech and preventing Protoss from getting a 3rd. So I think that can be a strong way to play this one if it is Eclipse here. But yeah, I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see, man. With Bonyth being up 1-0, it's always, you know, kind of a tough one to get the motivation to like turn it around, right? When a player like Bonyth starts getting that momentum, it's so difficult to handle. You start trying to like cut corners and overthink your builds and stuff like that because he is such a strong player. But you know, Sziky very comfortable with his 6 hatch play. I wouldn't expect any major adjustments unless it's maybe like trying to open Muta a game or something like that out of him. I think he's very comfortable with what he's doing as well. But yeah, the winner of this going to be going up against Dandy, so it'll also be a completely different matchup than what they're both currently playing. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that one. But for the moment, Eclipse, ZVP, another 2-player map. I would expect Bonyth to maybe try to go for that early scout once again, just to allow that initial harass, defending, you know, preventing that natural hatchery from going up and so forth. And I wonder if maybe we might see something like an overpool or a 9-pool out of Sziky here, game 2. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And with that, it sounds like we are ready, folks. It's going to be Bonyth going up against Sziky, game number 2 on Eclipse. Let's see it. And spawning, top right, as the blue Zerg, it is StarCast Sziky. And spawning bottom left as the red Protoss, it is Bonyth. So Eclipse, another 2-player map for ZVP. I actually banned this one on ladder. I'm just so annoyed with getting my natural blocked every game. So I think this is definitely not going to be an easy map here for Sziky, man. You can get cannon rushed, as Zero is pointing out. It can be hectic, man. It's not a fun map, but if the Zergs that are good at it are very good at it. I see a lot of Zergs open more for the contain style, as I was saying. Just get a lot of Hydra, you know, 9-7-3 Hydra, contain, get to lurker tech, like hold and prevent a 3rd. I think it can be very strong on this map. But yeah, this is actually going to be an overpool adjustment. I like this out of Sziky. you can at least get the lings fast enough to where... Oh wait, no, this is 9 pool. Okay. So 9 pool actually. So good reaction, like good adjustment. 9 pool is scary for Protoss that open 1 gate. Bonyth will not be able to get any pressure done with this 9 gate Zealot. So that's definitely something to think about. Which is why I do really enjoy opening 9 pool against Protoss a lot of the time. Especially if they like to open the gate first. So, yeah. Looks like Sziky will be able to at least set the pace of the game, apply some pressure. And pool is done. First 6 lings are underway. Drone is looking to take the expansion. I don't know who got the first shot off there, but these guys are so good at that unit control with just workers. It is very difficult to do that. And Bonyth did get the first shot there again, but I still think with the missing HP, that's going to be it. Sziky going to target down the pylon. Just wants to get this expansion up ASAP, because every second it's delayed is delaying the larva and the mining at it. Probe just kind of floating outside the natural here of Sziky. 3rd drone will move out, maybe to try to take a 3rd expansion. Bonyth could block this 3rd, but I guess he's just content with walking back with the probe. Sziky going to dive in here, gets a little bit of damage on the first Zealot, but he's mainly poking. Wow, he got a lot of damage on that Zealot. Trying to get up inside the main here. Does get 2 Zerglings in. Sometimes that's all it takes if you have good enough control, but it is very difficult now. This just turned into a multitasking game. Zerg has 3 lings to control on the map, can't take any damage from them. Bonyth also has Zerglings inside his main, needs to mine as much as he can while trying to prevent any probes from being taken off. Gas goes down inside the main. And it looks like Forge for Bonyth. He's going to play this safe. 2 Zealots, though, moving out across the map for Bonyth. Ooh, looks like one of those lings does go down. This could be dangerous pressure here. Ooh. Zerglings just passing each other, it looks like. I wonder if he's just going to dive on that cannon with those 2 lings. Ooh, wow. Very nicely done here from Sziky. Gets 2 more lings in. And suddenly 3 lings is a lot scarier than 1. Looks like 3 Zealots at the natural, though, from Bonyth. There we go. Link connection in the main. Looks to be microed very well from both so far. Ooh. All down to a single Zealot in the main from Bonyth. Good drone pulling, though. Uh-oh. First drone does fall. Still pretty impressive that he only lost 1 drone. I don't see a Spire quite yet. Also, the saturation at the 3rd doesn't look the strongest. Yeah, just 2 drones there so far. Spire's delayed just due to pressure. A few more Zealots moved across the map here from Bonyth. But with Speedlings now, I think Sziky should have what he needs to defend this. Yeah, that's plenty enough Zerglings. So, very well done. He's just going to decide to shut this down. And, he can drone very freely from here. Ooh, Stargate already completed for Bonyth. First Corsair in production. This once again just looks like very standard 1-1-1. We see the Forge spinning. We see the wall off. Very nice. Wow, he just cuts no corners. I mean, that's what you find so impressive. You know, a lesser Protoss will be like, I think I'm in a good spot. I'll just wait for the next Zealot. And Bonyth just makes sure there are no risks. First Corsair moving across the map here is going to end up scouting the main. We'll see the Spire timing, 4th hatchery timing. No gas at the natural yet, so this is definitely not something like a 4-hatch Muta out of Sziky here. Hydra Den going down before 5th hatchery. It's usually kind of a sign that Zerg's taken some eco early on, like some eco damage rather. 5th hatchery down at the 3rd. Evo chamber as well. Looks like Sziky wants to get that +1 range attack going for his Hydralisks. Citadel is complete for Bonyth, likely researching that Zealot legs for a timing. 3rd Corsair has completed as well. Once again, we see a big supply advantage here for Bonyth. Just that little bit of eco damage that Sziky took early on is, it's just kind of been the difference. It's slowing him down a little bit. But Bonyth just looks like he's right on time. Looks like he'll end up trapping a probe here with a pylon, just so he can control the Corsairs a little better. And the big key timing now for Bonyth is going to be he's going to wait for +1 and 5 Corsairs so that he can one-shot Scourge. That's kind of the key moment before Protoss can truly feel comfortable moving out with Corsairs. Zerglings out on the map are rallied back. Looks like he's just trying to scout out the timing and placement of these Zealots. Hydralisk fully in production now for Sziky. Oh, that's a lot of Zealots though. This is looking scary. They have +1 as well, so they are just chewing through these Zerglings. And Corsairs out on the map. Very good scouting though from Sziky. Looks like the Hydras are being rallied over to the 3rd, trying to get up that ramp in time. Oh, looks like he's going to split his forces. Hydra's on the ramp. There is a 2nd Sunken colony here. Oh, but it looks like Bonyth just happy to go straight for the Evo. Scourge coming in, and Bonyth forced to back away. Huh, I almost felt like Bonyth had that Evo chamber if he just targeted it down, but, you know, maybe not. Ooh! Good connect from Sziky. 1 Ser goes down. Very nice. Now this is where things started getting out of hand last game. The Corsair count has still managed to be pretty strong, right? Like 1 was just picked off there, but it's not low enough that Sziky could feel comfortable at all scouting around. Very cute of Sziky to get this Overlord over there. Gets a full scout off, sees the 8 gate, sees the Robo timing, sees the Templar. He knows exactly what he's up against now. And here we go, Zealot DT moving in. Nice focus fire on the DT there from Sziky. Drones being pulled to complete the wall off. And now the Corsairs once again just going to town on these Overlords. Doing so much damage, forcing the supply block once again. And I mean, Sziky just needs to do everything he can to defend these Overlords, and he's just unable to do so. Ah, man. At least he got the majority of the Sers this time, but that has not been fun for Sziky here. Alright, don't abandon them. Don't abandon the Overlords, not at this point. Sziky's likely going to need to take a risk. He's got to try to hold a 4th base here. Or he's probably moving towards that Lurker Tech at the moment. Maybe once he has Lurker Tech. Wow, yeah, that was a lot of SP stacked up, actually, from Sziky. And look at the drone count at that 3rd. It's very high. Man, okay. Well, if Sziky takes his 3rd now, maybe he's in a good spot. Or 4th. Oh, it's Muta. It's going to be a Muta Hydras play. I guess he did lower the Corsair count enough to where this makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Bonyth's still not producing Corsairs either. Wow, this could be exactly what Sziky needs. Looks like the majority of the money has been spent here for Sziky. Hydra's starting to rally out of all these hatcheries. Muta most of the way across the map. He has that magic 9 number. That's to one-shot Templars. It takes 9 Muta to do so. And here we go. He's moving into the natural. He's not where the army is. It's a little odd. Maybe Bonyth will just counter? He might. I'm not sure. Either way, this is massive damage to the natural of Bonyth, but maybe Bonyth has what he needs to break at this point. Oh, there's Lurker Tech, though, as well for Sziky. So suddenly I really like Zyky's position. Yeah, and there's no 4th base to... Oh, okay, never mind. He killed it. I didn't realize he had it there. Still, though, there's nothing to counter these mutas. There's Dragoons slowly trickling in here. Uh-oh. A little bit of a misrally here. Uh-oh, Hydra's also getting caught on the ramp. Nice storm from Bonyth, taking out a couple of the Hydras. A few more Hydras falling, and... Oh, no, suddenly, things looking a little scary here for Sziky. There's a lot of lurkers. It needs to spread, though. Looks like Bonyth going to be poking around here. Maybe he wants to waste a few storms. Yeah, he's got plenty. Good pickups there from Bonyth. Nice storms. It's like the rest of Bonyth's army also rallying in here. No lurker at the 3rd. I'm a little surprised. I feel like he absolutely needs some lurkers up here to hold. And I mean, Bonyth does have a 3rd base, so the longer this game just kind of goes as is, the better it's going to be here for Bonyth. Muta's trying to move in, once again, get another counter timing in. But there's so many cannons here for Bonyth, I don't think much can be done. We'll be able to pick up a Dragoon inside the main, it looks like. That's good.
X8 is sub a Gosu for 8 months.
Scouts the 2 cannons with the 3rd.
RCG, baby ZZZero,
yeah, this is a lot of Dragoons moving in here. Bonyth looks to be pressuring again. Ooh, group of Zealots just being lured into their deaths. But it looks like Bonyth will be trying to prevent this 4th base from going up. Yeah, only 4 Hydras there. It shouldn't be any kind of an issue here. But maybe this is going to create an opportunity here for Sziky. A lot of Hydras being rallied mid-left here to the 3rd of Bonyth. I don't think he has vision of it. That is a lot of cannons there, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And here we go. Sziky moving in, diving on top of these cannons, gets a good focus fire on the first few cannons, actually. Muta's doing a great job tanking for the Hydras, and wow, suddenly this base is in some serious trouble. I'd like to see Sziky put a lurker egg on the ramp or something just to kind of buy time. Looks like the Lings are on the ramp, though. Doing a little bit of damage, preventing this, and more Dragoons falling, more probes falling at this 3rd. Looks like every probe was eliminated or pulled from the base. And we still have these lurker eggs, but I believe there should be an observer here, so shouldn't end up doing too much damage. So nice little counterattack, though, from Sziky. Definitely gave him some momentum in this game. And now we see this army of lurkers just barreling across the map here for Sziky. Good spread just in time. Bonyth looks like he is on his way here. And here we go. Bonyth slamming in. There's a lot of lurkers here, though. This is what Sziky's very good at. He just kind of knows exactly where he should be fighting for these different base points and lures them in. Good storms, though, from Bonyth. Lurkers are slowly starting to fall. Yeah, this is just a good composition, honestly, from Bonyth. It's very Dragoon heavy to deal with such high lurker numbers. And here we go, the rally of Sziky coming in. Lurkers also burrowing, getting good shots off. Wow. Very good movement there from both these players. Oh no, Storm's on the low ground though, mopping up what's left of these Hydralisks. And we have Lurkers, but they're just not in position at this 4th base. Good Storm, once again from Bonyth, just doing more and more damage to each of these Lurkers. Sziky's rally coming in here, but it just doesn't seem to quite be enough. He needs to have a 4th base at this point. He's on even base count with Bonyth, ZVP, and it's just not something he can do. So Dragoon's moving in here, picking off the last 2 remaining Lurkers. Bonyth looks to be securing a 4th and maybe even a 5th mid-left. So this is looking quite good here for Big Bonyth. Bottom right might be taken here from Sziky. We're at the 1730 mark. It's just, you know, really delayed, obviously. So he's kind of having to fight more efficiently than Bonyth, just because of his reduced unit count. Still on layer tech. No hive on the way. Really, Sziky's just been doing whatever he can to try to hang on in this game. Doesn't know where Bonyth's army is, or maybe he's just going for a counter at this point. 4th base under siege here once again from Bonyth. There are 3 Lurkers up there this time, but oh man, it's just so much Protoss. Good Storms. And here we go. Counter timing from Sziky. This 4th base will be eliminated. I mean, it's just so difficult to engage up ramp versus Cannon Storm as Zerg without Dark Swarm. And without that hive tech, which, I mean, you couldn't really afford here anyway. You can't have it. So it feels like Sziky a little desperate to try to get some damage done here, but just unable to do so. Yeah, only 3 Lurkers remaining over here. Sziky's going to wisely retreat those. Okay, nice little engagement here from Sziky. We'll be able to retake this high ground from that small Zealot force, and ooh, looks like these 3 Lurkers will end up getting cleaned up. Not before doing some good damage. Pick off a couple Dragoons there, not too bad. The 4th base fully saturated here from Bonyth. So Bonyth just starting to run away with it economically. Looks like he wants another big engagement here. Ooh, shuttle of Bonyth moving over the natural, but Sziky just so quick. Does get a couple drone kills though. Hydra's getting underneath the shuttle. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Storm's going down in the main, gets more and more drones. And yeah, looks like Bonyth going to try to engage up in this high ground, feeling pretty confident. Good Storm to start things off with. Another good Storms on 2 more Lurkers. More and more Storms going down. 3 Archons coming in behind to rally. And wow, these Storms are just fantastic here from Bonyth. I mean, how do you do that? I don't know, man. He is just so good. Makes it look so simple. Looks like the drones are got cleaned up in the main, unfortunately. So more economic damage done here to Sziky. 4th base once again going to be forced to cancel. And although Sziky, he's just still battling it out, man. His rally is able to catch what's left of these units from Bonyth. It's just too little too late. Yeah, Sziky just needs this 4th base to go down as soon as possible here. Bonyth already has a 4th. He can essentially just start trading inefficiently at this point because his unit production is so much higher. More gateways going down inside the main here. And fourth base, once again, going down here for Sziky. He's got to hang on to it this time. And looks like from Bonyth, the units are starting to really grow here. It's a good amount of Zealot, Dragoon with a Templar, a few Observers. Big counter maybe coming in here, but he has a Templar already. Oh man, GG is called. Wow, very, very well done there. Once again from Bonyth, just looking so solid. I mean, he just, you know, from the early Ling defense versus the 9 pool, you know, his early Corsair damage, which once again created some, you know, game-ending supply blocks, it felt like mid-game. Sziky, you know, managing to battle it out, always picking very good spots to take engagements, and I really like the Muta switch. I think he definitely scared Bonyth a little bit with that Muta tech switch, and was able to get some big damage for it, but Bonyth just kind of hangs in there, man. He you know, did what he needed to do to build the economy back up, changed his, you know, composition, and just continued to apply more and more pressure to Sziky, so it was just very difficult, you know, for him to handle. So very well done there. Bonyth taking a 2-0 lead against such a strong competitor. And with that, we will, you know, next up it's going to be going into game number 3 between these two. Potentially game point here for Bonyth. So yeah, if you're Bonyth, you got to be feeling pretty good about it. But Sziky, man, he's just right there. But Bonyth is so good, especially with those mid-game Corsairs, at creating openings, making damage, you know, harassing, pulling Sziky's attention away. That it just seems to work out for him every time. So very well done, honestly. Yeah, excited to see what map number 3 is going to be here. What is it? Tau Cross. Ooh, awesome. Really good map for ZVP, honestly. I really like Tau Cross. It's one of the old staples, like old school WCG map. You can bet these guys have played this map so many times. You know, there is no ramp leading to the main. It is a very popular, I think, Forge first map for Protoss. And actually there are certain bases where you can even lock the Zerg inside the main with almost like a cannon rush. So definitely something Zergs need to be aware of and block, you know, that pylon from blocking off the entrance from main to the nat. So it has some very interesting play just because of that and the reason that it's been around for so long. On the flip side of the coin, it's a very popular map for Zergs to open 6-hatch Hydra back in the day. It's very open, so you know, engagements for Zerg can go very well mid-game. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this one plays out, honestly. All right, folks, I think we are just about ready to do it. You know, as we said, it's going to be Bonyth going up against Sziky on Tau Cross. It should be a fun one, folks. And with that, let's jump into the game. And spawning mid-left as the blue Zerg, currently down 0-2, it is Sziky. And spawning at the top right as the red Protoss, it is Bonyth. So yeah, if you're Bonyth right now, you got to be feeling pretty good. You know, having a 2-0 lead in a series like this, especially against a player like Sziky, you know, you got to be feeling pretty confident. You definitely have been putting the work in. It's paying off for sure. I think this is a Forge, ideally like a Forge first map. I think a lot of Zergs like to go for things like 9-pool speeds and run-bys here for whatever reason. So we'll see if Bonyth opts to go for maybe a Forge first, or if you can go Gateway first. I'm sure he would be the guy to watch for it. Sziky, though, yeah, going to scout towards the bottom side of the map here first. And as Zero was just showing, you can kind of block the position between the main and the natural on this map with a pylon. And cannon, your opponent in. So it's definitely a map where I personally don't like going hatchery first for just that reason. So we'll have to wait and see if maybe that comes into play here. It looks like it is going to be a hatchery first, but it's got a second drone. And it looks like he is blocking that pylon positioning, so he's definitely aware of it. He's just going to keep a drone there. I like this. So I guess you can go for something like a hatch first, as long as you dedicate a drone to it or something like that. No, don't! Oh man, thought he was going to get pylon down there. It's going to be a Nexus first. Wow. I love this out of Bonyth. He's already scaring Sziky just by having a probe around on this map. And, you know, Sziky trying to get away with something like a hatch first, but will actually get an eco advantage after all of that. Yeah, this is so many drones being pulled around. Okay, good shots there from Sziky. Sziky going to need to get some kind of scouting info here. You want to definitely know when you're up against something like a Nexus first. He's also going to need to get a third hatchery, I've realized. I think his third hatchery is going to be a little delayed here. It's going to be a gas first at 255, 254. Sees that it is Nexus first, and that is the latest gateway of all time. So he's got to be a little frustrated at the moment. Definitely does not have an eco advantage. Looks like hatchery is down at the natural. Third base as well. Because of just the base layout on this map, I would expect Hydra pressure early from Sziky. The third base is, you know, very close to Bonyth's natural, and I guess the logical position to defend on this map. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see though. Looks like it's going to be lair. We just saw those minerals go down, so yeah, it's going to end up being a lair here out of Sziky. A little bit of a supply block from Sziky. Ooh, good drone block. Oh, I jinxed it. No, he gets it. He still gets it. Very nice. Yeah, that was very, very nice. I think Sziky got supply blocked at 18 here, though. He didn't build the 16 overlords, so in a little bit of trouble. There we go. Probe out on the map once again for Bonyth, looking to go for some type of a scout. Stargate down inside the main, very typical of Bonyth here. Six Lings at the natural. It's always a little, you gotta be a little afraid if you're Bonyth seeing that many Lings. Like, is it a run by? Especially when you're not walling. You might think it could be. But I think maybe Sziky's just produced it just in case Bonyth tries to slip some zealots out or something. And Overlord just now completing. Sziky going to go up to 33 supply now. Spire almost halfway complete. Probe being pushed around here by these Zerglings. And it looks like, yeah, Citadel on the way, +1 being researched there at the Forge of Bonyth. All very standard things. Good scouting here from Bonyth. Even just being able to get this probe around for so long is very difficult to do. 4th hatchery and 5th hatchery in production here for Sziky. First Corsair showing up at the natural. Won't see anything too crazy. He's gonna dive on top of this Overlord, and typical rule of thumb is as long as you start shooting the Overlord before the Spire completes, you'll just get the Corsair out. So Looks like Bonyth going to be doing that, picking off this first Overlord and then running home. Zerglings out on the map. Citadel is done. Likely he's researching Zealot legs at this point. Third Corsair complete. No cannon in the main yet for Bonyth. Guess he's just not worried. Now with no cannon, those Scourge could connect on a Corsair that comes out of that Stargate. That could be a nice little pickup for Sziky. I like that he's rallying towards the natural. Oh no! Just barely missed it. Scourge is so dumb. Oh man. 6 hatchery down at the third base here of Sziky. Scourge still just trying to shark around and pick off a free Corsair, but unable to do so far. And now we are seeing full Hydra production here out of Sziky. Small force of Zealots, just 6 Zealots moving out for Bonyth here. I think they are at least close on +1. Corsair! Ooh, do pick up the Scourge kills there, so very well done. 2 more Scourge joining in. Oh man, at least they got to connect. I think Sziky almost needs to ignore the Zealots, it feels like. Just get on top of these Corsairs, because they're really what's doing the damage. Good damage there from Sziky, good hold. No supply block as of yet. Corsairs swinging around to the natural though. No more Corsairs in production. I guess Bonyth just feels alright for now. And yep, they are going to dive on this giant clump of Overlords. But I gotta say, not the big trades we were seeing the previous 2 games. It's looking a lot better this game for Sziky here so far, I'd say. Zealot pressure moving into the third though. Well, that Evo chamber is exposed. Good drone pulling though, and that's actually going to force Bonyth back. 4 more Sairs still at the natural though, just trying desperately to pick off a few more of these Overlords. And they do find a couple, so good trades from Bonyth. They might be moving home now though. Yeah, it looks like Corsair is going to meet up with their friend. Once again, get back to that 5 Corsair mark to defend any Scourge or Muta. And 3 more gateways being added in Bonyth's main here. Scouting Hydra moving across the map for Sziky. And another Zealot Corsair timing coming in. Oh, Sziky trying to get Muta attack in time. That's a good amount of Muta, but Bonyth was not skimping on these Corsairs. Still, the Muta getting really good damage on these Zealots. Very well done here from Sziky. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be pushed back. Couple Templar and Cannons up at the natural, though, for Bonyth. That should be enough to prevent any type of pressure that could be coming out here from Sziky. He can prevent Bonyth from taking a third, but he cannot engage that natural. Ooh, Corsair's coming in from the perfect position. Oh, but actually it's a Corsair that falls first. Very well done there from Sziky. I think Sziky's pretty stable as he's been in any game in this series here. He's just got to start thinking about maybe taking a 4th. And on a map like this, you know, you definitely don't want to expand right next to your opponent's main, so I'd expect either bottom, middle, or bottom left to be taken next. Ooh, all of those Muta just falling to these Corsairs though. They're so strong. And yeah, it looks like all these Muta Hydra being pushed back here. Good storms going down from Bonyth. Somehow Bonyth just finding better trades. A lot of Hydra still in production though from Sziky. Needs to start thinking about a 4th base. Yep, has Lurker production underway as well. Now, we kind of talked about this before, but because it's so wide open, it kind of helps Zerg with engagements mid-game. Here we go. Big arc here out of Sziky with this Hydra Force. Storms, though, just blanketing this Zerg army. Lurkers coming in, but they just feel a little disjointed from the army, and they're actually going to go down quite quickly. More Hydras backing it up, though, and I think all of the Storms have been used. So at least this should go better than the previous engagements here for Sziky. And yeah, actually Bonyth going to be pushed back here. A lot of those Dragoons are fairly weak as well. But Sziky opting to move back to his third base. I don't know. I wonder if that was maybe his timing. Maybe that's where he should have gone. Oh, never mind. It's going to be a drop play from Sziky. I did not even guess this. And this makes perfect sense. He's eliminated all of the Corsairs. All of the units from Bonyth need to be placed at this third just to defend it. So very well done. One Lurker pulling Bonyth's army way out of position here. Drop going to the main. Hydra timing hitting the third at the same time. This is going to be very well done here from Sziky. So here we go. Big Hydra timing, dropping inside the main here. Sziky taking the mineral only next to Bonyth's main. I don't know if I like that, actually. But Templar Archives will fall. And Bonyth just being stretched thin here a little bit. A lot of probes falling here at that natural. Ooh, but big storms from Bonyth, as expected. Getting some good trades here. A couple more Zealots join in. And they will target down the weak Hydras first. Another nice storm going down. And yeah, this is very well done, but Sziky is starting to kind of catch Bonyth out here a little bit. Another drop heading for the natural. I wonder what this could be. Lurker drop on the cliff. I like this. It's going to be annoying for Sziky to deal with, honestly. Hydra's being loaded up inside the main. Archon coming in as well. Ooh, 2 Lurkers. I like this. Actually, Bonyth wisely moving his force to defend his main a little better. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he's just moving a couple units. I mean, he's got to expect a drop at this point. He's got no vision on it. So here we go. Sziky loaded up, moving in here to the main with a lot of units. And it's going to be an overwhelming amount for this Archon. Templar Archives is back up, so Bonyth should be back on Templar production at this point. But this is going to be very, very difficult for him to deal with. Bonyth rushing his army inside his main here, trying to get on top of these Lurkers. Lurker does get targeted down. That was very, very nice. But still, this is going to create other openings as well here. Sziky focus firing some Templars, taking down a good amount of Zealot as well. And the Lurkers just starting to add up their damage. Bonyth, it looks like, does have the force he needs to clean this up, but not before taking some significant damage here. It sure seems as if Bonyth might be a little down in this one. Now, this I don't know about. I don't know why you would take a base where Protoss can storm your mineral line from their main. That could end up being a mistake. Big Lurkerling Hydra Force moving down towards bottom right. Looks like this is maybe going to be a counter timing on the third. Or maybe just a contain, actually. Ooh, another massive Hydra drop moving up here. But actually, Bonyth looking to engage before the drop even occurs. It also looks like Bonyth might just be trying to clear through this fourth base as well. Hydra's attacking from that high ground. Yeah, he needs to just give this up. Third base of Bonyth under fire, being countered by this small force of Lurker Hydra. And that should pretty much shut off the faucet to Bonyth's economy here. Can Sziky hold? That's the big question here. Plenty of Templars coming in with full energy here for Bonyth. The storms are good so far. Lurkers trying to rally in, defend a little bit. One Sunken doing a pretty decent amount of damage. Actually, 2 Sunkens here for Sziky. And yeah, it looks like Bonyth going to be forced to back off here. Ooh, Sziky. Oh, Sziky even preventing the Templars from getting home. Managed to pick off this Vespian Geyser over the natural. I think he's done it. I think he's taken the game. Third base has been removed here for Bonyth. And yeah, it's just... Sziky has taken a very dominant supply lead for the first time in this game as well. He's on Hive Tech and really starting to transition over to that heavier Zergling style play. Fourth base is not mining though for Sziky, so eco is closer than you'd expect. Bonyth though, not really mining any gas. He's just mining off the one in the main. Mineral only being taken mid-left here for Sziky. I mean, this is a lot for Sziky, but it's pretty... the majority of it is Ling Hydra. So very susceptible to Storm here. Lurkers on this high ground, though, of Bonyth. Ooh, good Storm on the Hydras. Lurkers on that high ground has actually been really cute here for Sziky. He's getting some good damage on that natural, preventing that additional Vespian Geyser from being mined. It's just been a very important part of this play here. Wow, Hydra's diving on top of the remaining Templar here for Bonyth. He knows that these Templar are really all that stands between him and, you know, losing this game. Fourth base bottom left is removed though, once again. So Bonyth just doing his best to really limit the economy of Sziky here. Another drop, once again, going down inside the main. Templar being moved into position. But actually so is Bonyth's army, it looks like. He somehow has sensed this out. Looks like Templar going to be in position to potentially do some good damage here. Lurker Ling drop. There we go. The rest of the Hydras and Lings going down here. Lurkers behind the gateways. I really like their positioning. And slowly Observer Templar is just being removed here for Bonyth. Nice Ling Lurker counter at the third as well. Going to be pulling Bonyth out of position. And I think that Sziky has done it. I think he's finally taken this. Zealots getting on top of these Lurkers, good spreading, trying to prevent as much damage as possible. But Lurker Ling, late game, is so good against Zealots. Templar Archives once again falls here for Bonyth. And there we go. Final remaining Templar also falls. We do have a DT in the mix here, so that should be a little extra damage. Ooh, just getting so much damage are these Lurker Spines. And even though Bonyth able to clean this up, you know, he's pretty much just going to live with red HP Zealots. Oh, the egg! Wow. Honestly, Sziky busted out all the stops here. Very nicely done. Using the eggs to prevent the Zealots from getting on top of the last remaining Hydras. Bonyth does have a Nexus and a Dream at the third base. If he somehow manages to hang onto this base, he can continue to make a game of it. But, I mean, we're seeing so much blue being rallied across the map here. I think it's just going to be too little too late here, unfortunately, for Bonyth. Big storms going down, though, as usual, for Bonyth. But yeah, he just gets overwhelmed there. And GG is called out from Bonyth. Sziky taking his first game of the series. And that should bring the score up to 2-1 in favor of Bonyth here. Because this is a best of 5, you know, obviously you're going to need to get all 3 wins in order to move forward. But still, such an amazing game there out of Sziky on such a classic map, Tau Cross. I thought he played that one very well. you know, I was kind of saying it, you know, while it was happening, but really the big difference was he prevented the supply blocks from the Corsairs. It felt like Bonyth not able to get those heavy supply depletions like he had in the previous 2 games. And with that, Sziky was able to just kind of stay in there and macro with him for quite some time. So that was very well done from Sziky. He seems to really like his heavy Hydra style play, so I would expect him to do something similar here in game number 4. Alright, well, we are going to take a quick 2-minute break here, folks, before we get into game number 4 of Bonyth versus Sziky. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to RCG 2021 quarterfinals. We are at our final match of the day, and it's been pretty intense so far. We got Bonyth going up against Sziky with Bonyth having a 2-1 lead at the moment. So Bonyth pretty strong early the first couple games, but Sziky's starting to mount his comeback so far. So definitely excited for this one. With this being best of 5, though, Bonyth is in striking distance of taking the entire series with just the next game, honestly. And Sziky's got a little bit of a comeback ready for him. The winner of this obviously going on to face Dandy in the semifinals here tomorrow. So yeah, folks, tomorrow is going to be both of our semifinals matches, as well as grand finals and third place match. So should be pretty exciting. But yeah, folks, without further ado, it's going to be match number 4 here between Bonyth and Sziky, and let's jump into it. And spawning top center as the blue Zerg on Sylphid, it is StarCast Sziky. And currently up 2-1 in this series as the red Protoss, it is StarCast Bonyth. So yeah, exciting one here. Another 3-player map, much like the previous map we just saw. Sylphid is quite strong for this matchup. You see a lot of Zergs kind of tend to turtle out the center bases with Lurker, and it can be quite difficult for Protoss to deal with, and vice versa. Another thing about Sylphid when I think of this match, or map rather, for the matchup is 973s are quite strong for Zerg on this map. So 973 pressure can be quite deadly for Protoss. There's good positions for Muta as well to either pick off Templar in the main, pick off probes in the mineral line, just because it's difficult to place cannons here. So a lot of positives on this map for Zerg. Looks like it's going to be an overpool here out of Sziky. Pretty standard. Second Overlord moving towards bottom right to scout Bonyth. Bonyth kind of scouted towards mid-left to look for an Overlord and then opted to go towards the 12 o'clock position, so that is correct. He's going to end up seeing Sziky's natural here quite quickly. And this is also the patented Bonyth 1 gate this game, 9 gateway, so this could be quite difficult here for Sziky to hold if he's not on top of his control here early on. Probe just getting in, doing a little bit of harassment. Hatchery won't get delayed at the natural for Sziky. Looks like drones going down, doing some damage to that probe in the main. First Zealot moving across the map has decided, you know what, I think I can still get some damage done here. Bonyth with just perfect control, getting good damage on one of those drones. Oh, okay. This is the new Sylphid, I'm being told, with an extra mineral patch at the natural. That's nice. Ha, I wonder how much of a difference that's going to end up making in this. I know Zergs tend to like having the more mineral patches, obviously, at the natural, and just because they can kind of mine more efficiently here. Ooh, good Zergling going down, actually. Good focus fire from Bonyth. Oh, but amazing surround there from Sziky. Does get a good amount of damage on top of the Zealot, and suddenly Zealot not really in position to do significant damage. I'd say that, and drone does fall. Drones are being pulled, still 10 HP. Red Zealot should be going down here quite quickly. Forged going down at the natural here for Bonyth. Bonyth opting to just sit back with his 2 remaining Zealots. Probably a good call here. Sziky taking top left. That's unique. It's so far away that it's kind of awkward for Protoss to attack. But yeah, at the same time, not the easiest for Zerg to defend either. It makes me think that Sziky might open Muta this game, to be honest with you. Just because with Muta, at least you can defend that third like fairly easily. Just because you just fly your units there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Core down in the main, halfway complete here for Bonyth. Overlord scouting inside the main. of Bonyth. Ooh, probe might slip into the main here of Sziky. Only a single Zergling blocking. Yep. Going to get in here and get a full scout off and see the lair tech. And Sziky definitely needs to build some more drones here. There we go. One Ling scouting and trying to push off that probe there of Bonyth. Drones in production at the natural. Third base finally online here, and third hatchery for Sziky. He does see this Zealot move out from Bonyth and actually gets a good amount of shield damage on one of those Zealots, but either way, this should buy him plenty of time to react, build additional Zerglings to hold this off. Spire down the main. Stargate almost complete for Bonyth. That's a little scary. Sziky trying to back off with both of his overlords. Ooh, showing Ling speed. So suddenly, Bonyth's really got to be concerned about this. And yeah, you see him actually retreat as soon as he sees that it's Ling speed. But these Zealots will likely get caught or sit at the mineral here at the third base. Oh man, is he just... Oh, is he going to get us around? Good surround here for the most part by Sziky, but actually I think it's Bonyth getting the better of the trade. Very well done from Bonyth to get those Zealots out of there. Third base is complete. Sziky slowly building up that drone count. Fourth hatchery as well in production. Sziky not maybe getting the trades he wanted with those Lings. It's like Corsair going to scout out an Overlord over the natural. Corsair looking for that Overlord. Barely sees it. Wow, look at the reaction time from Bonyth. That's going to be big. Anytime you pick up two Overlords early, it hurts. It really hurts the Zerg. So more of what we've seen in the past, man. Bonyth is just perfect with these Corsairs. Additional pylon going down the main. Scourge trying to make their connect, but they're just right behind this Corsair. Not quite able to get it done. No cannon in the main once again. So if Sziky does it right, he might be able to grab a Corsair kill. Oh, gets a connect. We'll take it. Goes back with the Scourge. Cannon going down in the main. Lana says, you know what, enough of this. I want my Stargate back. I don't want to take any more connects. Fifth hatchery almost completed. Sziky likely producing nothing but Hydra here soon. This is a lot of Zealots somehow, it feels like, from Bonyth. 8 Zealots, plus 1 likely almost complete. And yep, speed just now completing. No Corsairs with it this time, though. Looks like he's scared Sziky to go back into his natural, and now he's going to try to strike the third. And as we see, there's not a lot here. This could be very scary for Sziky. Ooh, good surround, though, from Sziky, picking off that Zealot immediately. But still, these are +1 Zealots going up against Lings. Here we go. Zealots just running through here. 2 Overlords going to get focus fired by this group of Corsairs. Drones being pulled off the line, but they're also being targeted, and suddenly the entire mineral line has just gone down here instantly for Sziky. Even, I mean, the eco damage has already been done. Another supply block going down. One more Overlord falling, and suddenly things are looking very good here for Bonyth. And yeah, GG is called from Sziky. Man, that was a very dominant display from Bonyth there. 3-1. I mean, I don't know what you do if you're Sziky. He wasn't even really making like big mistakes, right? It's just little things, but Bonyth hits such a strong timing there early on and he takes the advantage of things like those early supply blocks. Man, he's you know, such a dominant force in the foreign scene, such a dominant force in this tournament, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. You know, in the semifinals match, he'll be going up against Dandy, who also had such a strong showing here earlier today with that 3-0 victory over Ultra. But yeah, folks, with that, that is our quarterfinals for the day of RCG. We finally will be moving on to our semifinals match, third place match, and grand finals tomorrow. I believe we'll be kicking the day off with a good PvP. Oya going up against DeWalt. Oya, someone who had a very strong showing against Boa in the same matchup earlier today. And then DeWalt, who, you know, obviously previous champion of RCG, trying to defend that crown at the moment. Went up against Kogut earlier today. But yeah, folks, this is all going to be happening tomorrow. So if you guys enjoyed, you know, seeing all these matches so far today, make sure you guys tune in for the same times tomorrow. And we will be getting to the grand finals finally of RCG 2021. And with that, folks, I am Machine. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to me chat about StarCraft as per usual. And gotta give a big shout out to Zero here for running the production, pushing all the buttons, and yeah, making everything look good. So thanks to Zero once again. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a fun day, and I hope to catch you all tomorrow for